Hi there, welcome back to the classroom. It is time to take a look at our flipped classroom video for area and perimeter. And please, before we start, I just want to make it clear. I know that you know about this stuff, okay? I know that you understand this stuff. I know you've done area and perimeter before many, many times since like grade 3. I get it. Please keep in mind, I am trying to make sure that we've covered everything and that I'm not going to leave you any holes in your knowledge, because on Thursday, you've got a power hour. Don't you love it when I do that to you? So when you come into class tomorrow, we'll go through this information. We'll go through the work that's above us. By the way, if it's not above you, it'll be here by 6 o'clock. Okay. Watch the video. Make sure you get the work done, and then we'll talk about this tomorrow and get you ready for the actual power hour. But once again, 6 o'clock tonight, 6 p.m. is when the work will show up above my head. So that's when you can do your homework after seeing this video. Okay. What we're going to talk about is doing the area for a shape like this. And I know it's not as hard as the trapezoid that we looked at earlier today, but in a way, I want you to use this as a way to sort of think through your whole system about how to work at area and perimeter of an unusual shape. And just to remember that area is base times height. So how would we do that with this shape? Because it's not exactly easy to figure out exactly what those things are. You've got two bases and two different heights and all that other kind of stuff. So I'm going to give you a couple of options of how you would do this one, getting you to try to think creatively about how to figure out area and that kind of stuff, because there's no one way to do it. There are easier and more difficult ways. And take a quick look at how to figure out perimeter, all right? So let's start off with this shape. And one way of figuring it out, which is to divide it up into two different rectangles. Now, we're kind of lucky with this one, okay? Because we've got 9 centimeters and 2 centimeters here and 3 centimeters. And if you looked at the original shape, this was 7 centimeters rather, from this end to this end across here. But one of the things that we can figure out because of the shape is that line that's drawn right here means that this is 2 centimeters, so this means this is going to be 5. Okay? So to figure this out, 9 times 2 gives you 18 square centimeters, and 5 by 3 gives you 15 square centimeters. And if you add the 2 up, it comes to 33 square centimeters. Okay, makes sense, kind of clear. This is like we did the trapezoid, right? When we did the trapezoid, we had a shape that was somewhat like this with 2 different angles and all kinds of other things to work out. Well, basically, we've done the same thing, albeit a little easier to work out. Didn't even have to use a calculator for that. But is there a different way you can do this? Well, when we did the trapezoid, one of the things they suggested was to sort of come up with some kind of parallelogram inside and give you an approximation. Well, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it with a way that won't give you an approximation. It'll give you an actual, accurate area taking of the space we're going to look at. And this is the way to do it. Instead of taking a look at the space and then divvying it up so you have areas that are easier to figure out, what if you were to take the space and make it bigger so we'd look at it from a subtraction point of view? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. When we did this originally, this was A, and this was B, and this was like that, right? What if instead of trying to figure these two out, we made it a much bigger shape, okay? A square that was like this. This total space would be 9 centimeters by 7 centimeters. 9 times 7 is 63 centimeters squared. But unfortunately, we're not looking for the whole space here. All we want is this space. So C, this space that's 5 centimeters by 6 centimeters, we have to subtract that in order to figure out what this is. Okay? You're with me so far? All right. 5 times 6 is 30 centimeters squared. Subtract the 30 centimeters squared from the overall part here, which is 63, and you get 33 centimeters squared. Okay? So you can either divvy up this area here like we did on the first one, or take a much larger piece and then figure out how much of the larger piece is the actual area that we've got here. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. And if you want, go through it a second time and you can see if that computes for you. Okay. Now the final thing I wanted to take a look at was perimeter, and we haven't spent a lot of time with it. Perimeter refers to the space or the linear measurement of the space around the outside of a shape. Okay. Around the outside. And I want to get outside written in, and I want to put a D there. Okay. So what we're really looking at is this space around here. In a way, this is shaped a lot like Sir Jam, isn't it? Right? You've got the gym, which would be here, and you've got the offices, which would be here, and the main door is here, and you've got a classroom here and a classroom here, and we're about here. Okay. The new part's down this way. Okay. So this is the shape we're looking for. Imagine if you could walk around the school. Okay. The total distance you'd walk around the school, if you stayed right up against the wall itself, would be the perimeter. So to figure it out, we have to add. But if you looked at this one we did back here, let's go back to the original shape. All we had was the 2 centimeters here, the 9 centimeters here, the 7 down here, and the 3 over here. What we need to do is figure out what the length of this is, the length of this is, and then add them together. So what do? Well, 9 take away 3 is 6. So that's got to be a 6 centimeter length. And 7 take away 2 is 5. So that's got to be a 5 centimeter length. So we go back to here, 6 and 5, and now add them up. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 5 is 13, plus 3 is 16. Another 7 means 24, another 3 means 23 rather, and 9 means 32 centimeters in perimeter. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to put the questions up. They will be online at 6 o'clock directly above me. If they're not there now, come back. They will be there. Okay. If you have any problems, take a look at the video again, see if it explains what you need to know. If not, try to message me through the Moodle or someone else in the class, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. But remember, we've got to get this down pat before you actually do the Power Hour on Thursday morning. All right. Enjoy it. Get some work done. We'll see you tomorrow in class.